And we're back with another episode of the We Go On and On Disney Parks podcast. The last one was a 2-hour long saga of me and Caleb talking about Epcot. Previous one, Magic Kingdom. So now this means we're on park number 3. Park number 3 is Hollywood Studios. So that's kind of what we're going to be the main topic here. Caleb, ready?
Yep, I'm absolutely ready. And as always, we will start with the first question of the day. Okay? So the question for today is, what is the most underrated thing in Disney World, in your opinion? So that includes like show, rides, spectaculars, transportation, literally anything. Resorts.
It's really a very broad, it's a very broad question and a very, it's a hard question.
Yes, it is.
Very hard and very broad question. Underrated in Disney World, and you even gave me this before we started, and I still am, questioning what I would pick here, but I think I would like to say just the bus transportation.
Okay.
And underrated because everyone's like, "Oh, the buses are no one really loves the bus." Now, I understand if your hotel only has bus transportation, I can see how that gets frustrating, but having that transportation is like knowing you have that compared to like the other place you go to that doesn't just have transportation for you, and I always like the buses.
It is still one of the nice things of staying on property. You don't have to drive or anything like that. You don't have to worry about parking, finding your car. It's just the bus will take you to the park.
The bus will take you to where you need to get to.
Except another resort, then you have to like go to a park and then.
Well, no, but you can go. Yeah, you can't go resort.
You can't go resort to resort.
No, but so that's why transportation in general is something that doesn't get talked about enough, I think, by general people, because their transportation is still in the magic there.
Yeah, it is something Disney does include since they have their property. Is that all you have?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else like in park related that I would pick. I would maybe, I don't know, anything for you?
So
maybe I'll come up with something while you're talking.
I thought of one thing, and then I thought of another thing, and then I thought of another thing that's really not that underrated, but I thought it would be fun to mention because it kind of is. So the first thing that I thought of was Luminous. Okay. I feel like Luminous can be underrated because people who are longtime Disney fans will compare it to Illuminations. In the grand scheme of things, Luminous is a good show, but you have that comparison to it's not as good as Illuminations Reflections of Earth.
The problem is nothing's getting there.
Nothing is going to get there, but because Luminous is like the next one that's currently there, I feel like it can get underrated in that way.
Yeah, I could see that. I remember not underrating it. I just watched it last night.
Yeah.
We both watched it last night. And Luminous is one of the shows where, and we did, of course, we talked about this in the last episode. We won't go deep into detail. But with some of these fireworks shows, you have like the one spot, and then you can watch in the main like goods viewing spot. You have all these different countries and different places you can stand and watch the show. Caleb figured out yesterday how they show the Earth on Spaceship Earth, which I'm surprised he didn't know already.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, but it's really cool, and you can get different perspectives everywhere. Like, it can just be an adventure to try something new if you're there multiple nights in a row, whereas like Happily Ever After, you're just on Main Street. Like,
yeah,
there isn't
and
as much.
There's also, it's not like Disneyland, where you can go different places in the
Yeah.
park and see Happily Ever After. Well, I'm hoping, here's hoping, that when they open the Villains Land and those things, there's some special maybe show back in that way back away, kind of like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Because they would have that opportunity because they're farther away from everything, so they could do something like that.
How about we just Disneylandify the Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, that would be a great goal.
As far as the nighttime spectaculars go, I think that would be great. Let's just Disneylandify it. Like, so Disneyland has the projections that go in the castle. They also have some of them in Frontierland on Fantasmic water screens. They have stuff projected on It's a Small World. There is separate show music to go with the fireworks from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. So, like, how about some different stuff? Like, that would be cool.
It would be. I would definitely do that. I think that's an underrated thing. And what's your other ones?
So, my other one is the 40th anniversary Epcot Beacons of Magic show. Okay? It's one of the weird things that I absolutely love. What this
You can't find a schedule for.
No. So you can't find a schedule for it. It takes some extensive research to be able to figure it out.
And I know, and we know it is because Caleb has done that extensive research to figure it out.
Right now it's playing on a loop in the in-between festival time in Epcot. But this show, what it is going back through Epcot's history and pulling music from Living with the Land, from Figment, from all sorts of different Epcot history stuff, and then puts it with the Epcot Spaceship Earth lights and puts a show together. There are other Beacons of Magic shows like the Moana one, Encanto, I believe is one of them, Rainbow Connection with the Muppets. So my favorite one there's the 40th anniversary Beacons, and I feel like it's really cool. So
you have one more, and then I have one that I think can lead us into our topic today.
And then my one other just completely random thing that I think is cool and like underrated because I don't think many people know it exists. There are transportation cards.
Oh my. I remember this. Yes.
So every mode of transportation in Disney has this like card that you can ask the people running that mode for. So they can be fun to collect, and I think that's a little underrated because I don't know that many people actually know they do it.
And I remember I asked for them, and the guy said he was out of them or something.
That's true.
I'm like, oh, come on. I asked for one on the boat. They like the boats and everything goes back to my transportation thing. What I would say, kind of another underrated thing that
I gave 3.
I know, but this can lead us directly into what we're talking about today.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
Well, underrated, funny I have a funny underrated and like a realistic underrated. What do you want?
Go
first?
on. Funny.
Gertie the dinosaur.
Okay.
No one pays attention to Gertie the dinosaur, like just a general park fan, because also they never open the ice cream shop underneath it. But that could be a really good park, like a park like character if they really went into that, but they don't. I love Gertie. Completely underrated Disney thing. The realistic one is, I think what's underrated is the style of the entrance of Hollywood Studios. Because that has stayed the same way and they replicated it out west. And I love the way that blue, like, retro feeling as you go down. It's Hollywood Boulevard all the way down. And then you go into the movie lands, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But more of like you enter in the older age, then you kind of jump to these newer movies, and I think that's a cool thing that kind of goes under the radar. Okay. You thought I was going to say something else.
I was guessing something else because I thought of something that I really thought you would say because we talked about it on the last podcast, the Tower of Terror fitting in with Morocco.
Yes. Yeah, I did not. That didn't even cross my mind.
Okay. Well, we should probably get started because as with the last two, we're going to be doing the reviews. I'm going to say what the attraction is or whatever the show is, and then Kevin's going to guess its rating, and then we'll talk about it. And guess what the first one is?
The Tower of Terror.
You got it.
Or the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, if I want to be correct.
There's the official name of it. So
again, same thing where I will guess what I gave for my review, and then we'll go over it. Also, we'll give a little overview of what the attraction is if you don't know what it is, or just a little basic overview. Tower of Terror is a drop tower attraction. I think that's a fair assessment. Drop tower attraction with a good view of the park at the top.
Yep. Interior drop tower that's supposed to be like spooky, like you're on an elevator that's falling.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think you rated it?
I saw this already. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10.
No.
Was your
you
rating.
thought you saw it and you got it wrong.
I saw your rating.
Yes, you did. But what was yours?
8.
Nope, you said 10 out of 10 and wrote a 321 word review.
Yes, I I do like this ride. I think it's very fun. It was also my first time ever riding this ride because I was terrified of it when I was little and didn't go on the ride, which I
Fair.
think is fair because you
Fair.
walk up to that thing. It's a very, very large, tall building, and you're like, and you hear screams coming from it as a little kid who doesn't like scary movies and still to this day doesn't like scary movies, is not ready to go into a scary drop tower. It's not as scary as it, seems really. That beginning part is very easy to figure out what's going on. And then you get to the drop tower and it's very fun.
Yeah. So it actually is quite enjoyable. The queue is also very accurately on theme, detailed.
The queue at night is something really to see.
It is a really good queue. I'll be honest, I don't like the style of the queue, but
What do you mean the style?
I just don't like the way it looks and feels, but that's just, I don't like the look and feel of the Tower of Terror. Like, it's not that they didn't do the queue well. They did.
It's very nicely themed.
I just don't like the, workway feel when you're in that final room.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that room is awful. That room is not that.
Well, it is good.
But
It fits the theme, but
it is weird. But no, it's weird. The loading way is weird.
yeah.
Why you have to split it so early? You walk up into that pathway and you split down these two pathways very early, and you're kind of walking around. It just doesn't. You get kind of confused before you even get on the ride. You're like, where are you walking? Is this the better way to walk? There's not it gets this
All in all,
confusing mindset there.
not a big deal though.
Nitpicky.
Yeah, my one fun story from Tower of Terror. They do the photo stuff. Okay, so I think we wrote it twice.
Can I see my review, please?
Yeah, you can absolutely go look at your review.
Oh, scroll down. I thought
yeah,
you were
just
copying
scroll
and pasting
down.
it. Never mind.
No, just scroll down.
Okay.
So I think we did that ride twice. I think one time I did thumbs up, smile, happy me. And then the second time I just pretended to sleep through the entire ride. So
we had very entertaining people on our ride, and they were laughing, and it made it very entertaining for us to ride it. And I just never did the whole feeling of the drop tower. It's a very fun feeling of the drop tower. A different I can't put the word in my mouth, but a different feeling than it's not like you're on the outside in the sun type of drop tower.
Yeah, it's different. It's because it goes up and down repeatedly, it can be a little more fun. And in Disneyland, they used to have Tower of Terror. The ride mechanism is still there, but they turned it into a Guardians of the Galaxy where they really just adjusted the drop stuff
Intensity,
to
right?
be more fun, smaller bounces, like a little kid being thrown up and falling. They laugh because of that little bounce, and they do that more in the Guardians version of Tower of Terror in DCA, Disney's California Adventure.
One thing that I don't know is going to come up in this at all, because I don't think I wrote it down, but when you exit the Tower of Terror and you're in that little exit area, which is a really cool, you exit through the shop and you're in this courtyard area, there's a good donut shop. I had a really good donut that was about the size of my hand, which was amazing. So
okay.
Made sure to put that on there.
So next up, the Beauty and the Beast live on stage show.
Did not see it. I've heard a lot about it. I've watched it on live streams. I think it is a really good show. It's long, right? Isn't it
It is decently long.
It's good for...
It's a good show. Hollywood Studios is known for its shows. That's the big deal there. And
now, if you have a half a day at Hollywood Studios, is this something you choose to sit down and watch? Probably not.
Probably not, because you probably are trying to get to the Tower of Terror, Rise of the Resistance rides.
Yeah.
So, but it's a really good show. They have a cool Beast transition. Essentially, it's like a sped up version of Beauty and the Beast live on stage. That's all it really is, and it's just good. It's good. It's fun.
Caleb gave it a 10 out of 10
Yep.
on his rating. It also has during the holidays, during Jollywood Nights, the Muppets do host a show in there.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Kermit and Piggy host the Jollywood Nights. I forget, some name. I don't know what the name of it exactly is, but the Jollywood Nights show is hosted by Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy during that time.
Okay, so as we move on, while Rock and Roller Coaster did close very recently, yesterday?
Eris,
right?
the logo.
No, not yesterday, day before.
Yeah, the
yesterday.
logo. Just yesterday was taken off. They officially took that off.
So Rock and Roller Coaster is now closed. It will be rethemed to Muppets instead of Aerosmith.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think we talked about it before on the first
We did.
podcast.
Okay.
At quite length, and I feel like
Yeah.
it will. If they do it right, it'll be really good.
Yeah, it's
So
the Rock and Roller Coaster ride is a very fun attraction. I just figured out because I'm watching Tom's Honest Review on WWNT. He's doing honest reviews of all like attractions in the park that he hasn't done before, even older attractions. I didn't know until now that there is a large tunnel where Rock and Roller Coaster launches you on the launch. It launches you through a tunnel that sends you into the gravity building in the way back. So it's not all one long building. There's a very small tunnel that you can see on Google Maps, and then it goes into this big gravity building. And the reason that building is not shown very easily because they just painted the outside to look like a soundstage. So that's how it's hidden in the back.
okay,
And also, again, gravity building is what they call a show building for roller coasters.
okay.
So 2 new things for people to understand from that.
Yeah.
But Rock and Roller Coaster, I said that I'm looking at the review. I haven't looked at my guess, but I know I was very strong on the retrack bit. It is not a smooth ride. It is a jerky ride. It is you're trying to keep your head. You're also trying to, in a ride like that, you're trying to keep your head back. And I know it was the first ride to have the synchronized audio tracks, like for the roller coaster. So yes, you have to sit with your head all the way to the back to make sure you hear the thing in the speakers. And it's now compared to Guardians of the Galaxy, where you have the speakers in front of you, so the whole car hears the music, and not just if you move your head slightly away from that speaker, it's not as loud. So that was something that I wonder if that's something they would change or update, but I don't know if that's really what they're going to aim for by the end of this year, if they're getting that ride, just spinning it around to a new ride.
Who knows? What do you think you rated it?
Not 7.
Yes, you did. It was a 7 out of 10. Moving on to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. This is a trackless ride system where essentially it's a cartoon. Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy are going for a ride through the park, and it goes, well, off the rails, per se.
What could possibly go wrong?
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyway.
Yeah, this ride.
What do you think you rated
6.
it? You settled on a 9.5 out of 10.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I feel like I think I went into it thinking I wasn't going to like it. I liked it more than I did. I gave it a higher rating, and now that I've seen more and more stuff about it, I now don't like it as much. But it's more of it's definitely a screen-based attraction. I don't mind it. It's not the greatest thing of all time. It also is not better than what it replaced. Which is not.
That's because it replaced the Great Movie Ride.
You can't get much better than the Great Movie Ride.
So that was an amazing attraction. We won't go into a lot of depth on it, but essentially you went through a whole bunch of different movies. There was some stuff that happened with your tour guide, and
so I think we need to preface right now, the Hollywood studios that we have right now is not anywhere close to what the original one, and it's not like these other, like Epcot or whatever we've talked about. Epcot still has at least some slight resemblance, honestly. Like, still the entire World Showcase is there.
Yeah, so
but Hollywood Studios is completely different. That park is not at all what it was before. Of course, it was goal to be a working movie studio when they opened it, and that didn't really pan out. The backlot tour is not there anymore. All the one of the New York Street or whatever, with the soundstage studios, they had tours. All of it was this movie. You're going to go to a theme park that's going to be a half-day park, and it's going to be a working movie studio. And of course, that didn't really last. So they went to this more theme of adventure through the movies, which again, the Great Movie Ride could still have worked in this new theme, maybe with an update instead of getting rid of it. And I still think maybe the Great Mickey Ride that was going to replace it originally probably would have been a better choice, which was the Great Movie Ride, but through the history of Mickey movies, which still goes into your IP. The Great Muppet Movie Ride was another thing they had for that, and when they were trying to come up with a bigger IP attraction for the Muppets, instead they rested on the budget for Muppet Vision 3D, which wasn't that large anyway, but they did what they could with that. So a lot of Hollywood studios that we see today was nowhere close to what it was. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids Playground was there. There's been a lot of change in Hollywood studios.
Yeah, so it was formerly known as MGM Studios,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And the comparison between Hollywood Studios and Epcot here is Epcot, they still say they're trying to maintain that same original vision of experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Hollywood Studios, the entire idea shifted. They completely rebranded the park.
They're not trying anymore for the original MGM theme. The arch is gone.
Yeah, which may very well be the right decision too.
Oh yes, I don't think that decision in the first place was the right decision for a theme park. It was what they needed to do at the time to try to do this whole thing of creating a movie studio down in Florida. That's not the industry that you're in. Your industry that you're in down in Florida is a theme park business.
So this is where you now have Toy Story Land, you have
Galaxy's Edge.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You're going to have Monstropolis, Monsters Inc. Land coming up.
Monstropolis.
Whatever it's officially called.
I'm not going to call it a land. I can't really. It's not it's only one real attraction. One
mini
big,
land.
It's a mini land.
Mini
it's a
land.
Monstropolis mini land. But then Hollywood Studios is still weird in the way where you still have the ABC commissary and those back streets are right outside of where Midway Mania used to have their entrance. That kind of goes into this random little dead end hole, which looks like a soundstage.
There is this distinct older Hollywood Studios and modern Hollywood Studios, but I feel like they work well enough together. They're separated. If you went through Toy Story Land from a section of old Hollywood Studios to a section of old Hollywood Studios, I don't know that it would work quite as well.
But you go like old Hollywood Studios to Toy Story Land to Galaxy's Edge.
The way it's split, it actually works.
Now, there's not really the greatest circle to walk around there. I still think it would be better if you took, say, an extension like where the Woody's Roundup or Jesse's Table or whatever the restaurant is called, and just took that out and did another land back there connecting to the animation courtyard land, because now you only have that one block right there that could really make this a big circle going from the animation courtyard. Then you could somehow have connected. There's ways that they could have done it where you could make this big massive land IP circle.
Yeah, but it works well enough as is. So back to the Runaway Railway conversation.
Yeah, something that did need to be hit on explaining the park.
So Runaway Railway includes some physical sets. It's not entirely screen-based. There are some physical sets. It is a better ratio than Remy, as we talked about last episode. It's a solid attraction. I mean, I put it as a 6. I might up it to a 7 or 8, 7.5,
It gets too long of a wait for what it is, though.
It does get a little bit longer, although I will say I feel like recently it's dropped a little bit.
Yes, because Smuggler's Run has gotten higher, which we'll talk about in a minute.
I would go with 40-ish minutes. Seems about right.
If you're in the 60s, that's not worth it.
Agreed.
It's just not.
Okay.
If you want to ride this ride with little to no wait, go to Disneyland in Toontown.
Yep, it is in Toontown.
It's the same exact ride. It's just in Toontown. Also fits a little bit better into Toontown.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's the same. It has a better queue. It is a better attraction in Toontown.
On the other hand, Toontown also gets really crowded.
Yes,
Like,
but we're not talking
super
about
crowded.
Toontown,
We're not talking about Toontown. We're talking about the Frozen sing-along, which Kevin didn't do.
I didn't do, but I have done before. I have seen the show before, and it is a very fun show.
It is so funny. So essentially, it goes through the Frozen story and is hosted by two historians, and they make a lot of funny jokes.
It's also, I love in being in Florida, and then you see the snowflakes fall from the ceiling.
The soap.
It's snoping.
What?
Snoping. No, that's literally what they call it. That is what they call it. They call it snoping.
That is.
Did you not know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, on Main Street, like when they have I'm really drawing blank on words right now.
Snoping.
Yeah, snoping. When they have the Magic Kingdom Christmas parade, it's Snopes. Snoping. It's weird, but it's soap as snow, so snoping. Makes sense.
Okay.
Caleb is trying to get over that while we move on.
Yep, so I don't think there's much more to say about Frozen. It's, again, another fun, good show.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Moving on, Star Tours. Okay, it is time to review Star Tours, even though Kevin and I both didn't do it. I did Star Tours in Disneyland, so I actually have been on a Star Tours. What this is, it is you're going onto this ship and one of the people among you's a spy, I think it is, and there's a whole bunch of different options of versions you could get. Usually it's like walk-on or near walk-on, and it's a cool ride, cool attraction.
I did look for you. It's like making sure that I wasn't insane about the snoping. It is a thing. It is spelled SNOAP. It's fake bubble like snow.
Okay.
That's what they use for that. But on the fact of Star Tours, never has a long wait. It is a very fun. It's a cool attraction because the fact of it being the show scenes are randomized, so you. Most likely, if you're going to ride, it has a lot of rideability because you can ride it once and get a completely different scene. And there's a lot of scenes. I don't know how many there are. I know there are a lot of them. So I'm excited to ride this when we do go there because I know it's a 5-minute wait. If it's ever higher than 10 minutes, do not go on this ride. Go wait a little bit longer. It'll be back.
Yeah. It usually does not have high weights at all, and it's
just classic
fun.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
it's not the new Star Wars; it's the classic Star Wars. So if anyone's not a big fan of the new trilogy, which is major problem out there,
a lot of people don't like it. I'm not. Neither of us are big Star Wars fans,
so we can't really say much on it. But I do know. But I know of the old trilogy more than I know of the new trilogy, just because of C-3PO and R2-D2 and those memorable characters, as this ride is conducted by C-3PO.
Yep. Okay, moving on to my favorite ride in the park, Rise of the Resistance.
It's one of favorite rides, like, for anybody. You can tell because Caleb wrote a big review on this too.
Oh yeah, and remember, I was texting these reviews, so it's not so easy to write on your phone.
No, it's not.
Kevin, what do you think you rated this?
I must have given it like a 12 out of 10.
13 out of 10. We both gave it 13 out of 10s. This ride is pretty much you're going through and escaping with the Resistance from jail on an Imperial ship.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Like, that's pretty much it. And that is one heck of an understatement to what this ride really is.
You wrote a larger review than me. Yours is 271 words and mine is 232. That's
insane. So
that's more than I would not have expected that. Go ahead. Can I go first?
Yeah, go.
You go first with these a lot. I really enjoy this ride. I love the fact, and Caleb's going to probably touch on this because I know he likes this part, the fact that the queue is how the queue is, where if you're waiting in, I think it's like, say you're waiting in a 90-minute line, you're not waiting 90 minutes for the show elements of this attraction.
The experience starts 20 minutes before the ride, about. So if the wait time says like 55 minutes, you're only really waiting 35.
Yeah, which is something really cool. Now, also, if you do a lightning lane, you miss this.
Don't use lightning lane.
Do not use lightning lane for this. You will skip out on some of the really cool parts of this attraction, and still parts where I have sat there and watched POV videos and been on the ride and be like, how in the world are we where we are? Because we came in this door outside, and like the one part where you come in from the outside and you exit out the same door and now you're inside.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how? How did that happen? Like, did the thing rotate, but you were outside? Where are you? I don't think you're in that vehicle. You walk, but it makes you feel like you walk into that vehicle. And it also doesn't make it feel like you're really dropping down either. There's not a very large, like, bounce on that.
Do you drop down?
I don't think you drop down.
Like,
I don't know what you do.
We don't know how it works.
I have no idea. This is like, and I think both of us at this point, you get this far into this Disney fandom, you try to figure out how these things work. And Caleb is able to figure it out a lot of the time, and a lot of people, and like, it just makes you try to think about it. And that, I still do not know how that works.
And usually it like makes some logical sense, and I can just figure out this kind of stuff.
You enter the same door that you exit. One time you enter and you're outside, and the next time you enter, you're inside.
Yeah, and you must like spin in some way to get around.
But also, that building, that car must not move because there's already. It
must be the room that you're inside.
Because there's already people that are walking out and seeing that car as you're getting in.
Yeah, so
it must be there's a car on the inside of the facade.
Yeah. Let's just say this is Imagineering at its finest.
Yes.
Okay. It tells a story. It uses all of the tools that Imagineering has in order to tell the story. It's not supposed to be a big thrill ride. It's not, let's see how many screens we can do and how many like special effects we can do.
They use everything to their advantage.
Yeah. And they use it when it fits in the story. Just because you have something doesn't mean you have to use it. But when you are in this ride, there are so many places where they are able to use the technology and it doesn't feel out of place because the story is set up for it. It fits within the story they are trying to tell.
The ride is so good, but by so many people, and it is the same ride in Disneyland.
Yep.
But by so many people will rate this like the best ride on property at points because of the technological advancements you've got animatronics, you've got screens. When they first got it open, you had those turrets that move in and out as your car's going by, which they fixed in Disneyland.
They work sometimes. I think most of the time they work.
I don't think they're working. They're not a thing that works often. I think it's a difficult thing. That's a reason
they worked when I did.
This ride is down a lot. Used to go down a lot.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. But it shows you how much of a technological advancement when it was opening, on the amount of times it went down because of all the stuff that they had.
So it's almost entirely done with physical sets. It's like it's a trackless ride system. It is primarily no screens. There are some screens when they are needed to augment the experience, but most of the time you're going through physical sets. There are physical animatronics.
There's a drop on this.
There is a drop on it, which uses a screen where it fits. It just all fits right.
And even the drop is a crazy thing. You come in, you get locked in your little cell, you kind of hear the little click, and then you drop down, but you drop down not like a straight drop. You drop and you're kind of flying in this simulated flying thing. You've managed to incorporate every cool thing that you can do in a ride all in one ride.
It is just
you have
amazing.
Incorporated the animatronics, the Kylo Ren pointing at you in that one scene, which I still think it's weird if you're in the one car and you don't have the greatest.
Well, the other thing, they have two cars go at a time. So you're in one trackless vehicle, and there's another one with people in your group.
Your transport.
That you're like, not like your immediate party, not your family, but everyone else in the prison cell with you. But the experience is different based on which car you get.
It's not worse. Say you're in
not at all.
It's just a different experience.
Different.
Rise is another ride that is a re-rideability
Oh yeah,
type of ride. It
for
is a
sure.
unbelievable attraction. The queue, the show elements, we could dive into this for a very long time. There's so much you can analyze from start to finish of this ride.
Yep. So the one thing that I have a little bit of an issue with, and it just bugs me a little bit, although it's not a super big deal, and I absolutely understand why it is the case. There's a moment when you're in prison and the resistance busts you out of prison. The wall opens up and it's like it melts open and opens up, and it's really cool. And then some of the resistance people come in and like, we're here to save you or something like that. And then you're just like immediately taken out of the moment because they are not excited. They are not urgent. They'll say things like, make sure your seatbelt's on, tug on the yellow strap for me. And it's like, oh.
Because yes, you have to do that. Could there be a creative way they could say that, but still like get the point across to anybody?
Not easily, and that's why I understand it.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't really a way around it, but it's like, oh, it's perfect in every other way. And then that happens, and it's like, because everything else around it is so good, it really stands out.
Yes, it's such a fun ride. Such a fun ride to do. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. I've already kind of scrolled down here.
Okay, so you know what your rating was?
Yes, I know what my rating was. This is supposedly trying to simulate you're flying the Millennium Falcon. And the issue with it's kind of like a video game format.
It really is like a video game.
Now, the issue is this ride is not made for a 75-minute wait.
Not at all.
Because you have to it's kind of like a re-rideable ride where you want to ride it again so you can understand it more the next time.
You have to ride it multiple times is the issue here to really like begin to understand it. Also, like, I feel like I picked it up really quickly. Me and my sister were the pilots, and like,
well, if you get messed up with not a good pilot, you also have a worse experience.
Yeah, which, I'll be honest, we were not great pilots, but like, we're figuring out for the first time. We're kids, and like, I have a decent feel for video game stuff right off the bat, like, because I play video games, but it still took like half the ride for me to be able to figure out how to pilot the thing. And they also put a lot of restrictions on you, which makes sense because people are learning how to play the game as you're on the attraction. But it really, like, as a video game, is difficult because of how many restrictions are on you. You can't like do everything you want to do, and you can really feel when like the game itself is pointing you in a direction and is just kind of doing it for you to an extent. So like,
I wish there was a way for them to do this ride and have some kind of like practice.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Because I feel like this could end up being a big favorite ride for a lot of people if they knew how to do it.
Yeah.
But no one knows how to do it. You get thrown into, you don't have a tutorial really on what you're doing, which is surprising. It's kind of surprising in a way that they didn't manage to do like a fun themed thing. You have so many Star Wars characters out there that you couldn't come up with, that you maybe didn't have the time, budget, whatever.
I think they were trying to stick to like mainly newer characters there.
But you still have a bunch of newer characters you might have been able to use this is how you do this, like in a pre-show area.
Yeah.
Something.
Or even just like, what if they made a game that was Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run and just like released it some places?
So I'm showing like the difference between Disneyland and Disney World in the wait for this ride. Disneyland right now has a 5-minute wait for this attraction.
That would be a good wait for this attraction.
Yes,
I would do it for 5 minutes.
Oh, I would do it all the time, but in Florida, it's a 75-minute wait right now.
And I would never do it for a 75-minute wait.
No, I don't think anyone would wait for that.
Well, certainly people would, or it wouldn't be a 75-minute wait.
I understand that, but I also think a lot of people get in line for this ride not knowing exactly what they're going into.
Maybe, yeah.
Because You see it, oh, we're going to ride the Millennium Falcon. And yeah, it sounds great. I'm going to pilot the Millennium Falcon. Wait a minute. How?
And there's only 2 pilots. The other people have
You
other
don't get to
roles.
pick if you're the pilot
Yeah.
also.
So, well, it's a ride. There's some cool things to it. It's like, okay.
It will be get the Mandalorian and Grogu retheme in May.
Yeah. Which that's a new mission for you to go on.
Which is good. You have a different mission instead of the same mission over and over, which isn't really the issue, I think, right now. The issue is not knowing what you're doing on the ride.
Yeah. Okay, ready to move on?
I'm ready to rant.
Slinky Dog Dash. So, Kevin,
I'll take it away.
You don't really have a rating for this.
No, I don't.
You didn't do it.
I don't have it. Nope. Sadly, I did not. There's different things that you have when you go, not like every year or something, but you have these little vendettas or things that you want to get done. And when we went down there, I knew one thing I really wanted to do was ride Slinky Dog Dash because I was not able to do it back when we went in 2018, and I was very excited to ride this thing. Well, we're waiting at the bus stop at the Contemporary, getting ready to leave. And we get a notification that our lightning lane was changed and we have a free open lightning lane. And Slinky Dog is down and they're giving us our lightning lane back for Slinky Dog to use on any other attraction in the park, which was great. We ended up using it on a rock and roller coaster, but Slinky Dog Dash never opened. Never opened the whole day. It was down the entire day. I didn't even get to see the cars going on the ride. It wasn't running. It wasn't testing. I never saw it at all. And that was something I was very, very much looking forward to in Hollywood Studios. Not saying Slinky Dog Dash is the greatest roller coaster of all time, but I want to ride it. At this point, I want to ride this ride, and I will ride this ride in the near future because I really, really want to ride this ride.
Okay.
And I've seen so many POVs. It also just looks like it's cool, like looking around the park. It fits in the land, it's not chemistry wise. What's the word?
I don't know what you're going for.
Chemistry? No, it starts with a C, right? Chemistry. I'll think of it.
Okay, so Slinky Dog Dash is like a solid roller coaster.
Charismatic? No.
No. Okay. So Slinky Dog Dash is like a solid roller coaster. I believe it has 2 launches, if I recall, and it's a fun, solid roller coaster, nothing super crazy. It is still a family-friendly roller coaster, good views. It has really high wait times often, though, which wait times are what they are. I don't love high wait times, but it's just like a fun roller coaster. There isn't much more to say there other than it does fit in with the rest of Toy Story Land really well. So it has its little spot and it adds this kinetic element to...
Kinetic energy! There it is!
Kinetic energy. That's kinetic is a K. So it adds kinetic energy to the land where it's something active that's happening and you can see, and that's just a really cool part of it as well.
Same with the people mover and different things that go through lands.
Yeah,
it looks really cool. And just Toy Story Land Toy Story Land as a whole, we'll kind of go over in a little bit.
We will review every land individually.
We're
talking about individual attractions right now.
Slinky Dog is a very cool ride that I'm very excited to do, and probably will have a very biased review, even if it's not great, because I'll be very happy just to be on the roller coaster.
Yep. Okay, Alien Swirling Saucers. What do you think you rated this?
6.
Yep.
Yeah.
You rated it a 6. So
it's okay. It's a spinny ride. It's a flat spinner. If you've ever seen, it's the same exact ride system of Happy Ride with Baymax in Tokyo and Mater's Junkyard Jamboree in California Adventure. It's the same exact thing, just different vehicles.
I can't really describe the way it looks or works. You really just have to look up a video of it. I can't easily do it with words.
Yeah, it's 3 platforms that you spin back and forth around, and you get jerked around in the car. You get slid back and forth from in the car.
Yeah, it's like a modern type look on some kind of old carnival ride, like the Whip.
Yeah, it's a
Like
modern
it's trying to do something new with that kind of idea.
setup.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
it's okay.
it's okay. It's a good little ride, and is exactly the kind of thing that I want to see around a little more often. Now, would I wait like 50 minutes for this
No.
ride? Absolutely not.
We did it on a lightning.
Does the wait time get up there to have
Yes.
a 50-minute wait? Yes. Do I understand how that's the case? No.
Yes.
You do? Explain.
I'm not. This is just common knowledge. It's just because of the sheer amount of rides in the park, and people ride this and took too much value into that. If there was when there's more stuff to do there, that will not get as popular.
Hopefully.
I'm predicting when you have the Monstropolis coaster open, and
That'll probably help.
You've got once you have the Monstropolis coaster open, and you have Rock and Roller Coaster back open. You've got 2 thrill attraction roller coaster wise. Then you can take some of the crowd, and when that roller coaster comes out, I think it's gonna really mess with the crowds there in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I think Swirling Saucers is one of the rides that will become a lesser wait.
Here's hoping. On to Midway Mania. What did you rate this?
This is so fun. This ride is so fun. It's such a fun game. And yes, it's screen based, but it is such a fun game. You take you're on your car and you have a little shooter blaster gun and you have to hit the targets on the screen with your 3D glasses on.
This is a game that, unlike Smuggler's Run, is very instinctual, easy, and like you're just able to kind of do it. You can also like spend some time trying to get good at it or looking up some tricks to it. If you like want to get really good at Midway Mania, I guess you can.
It's fun.
So what do you think you rated it?
9.
Yep, 9 out of 10. It is just a really fun, like, it's carnival games is really what it is. You get feedback from where you're shooting. I always win in my family.
I won.
Yep.
So I had a story from this ride. We were in the lightning. We had the lightning lane. But we got in. We saw the standby wait was 45 minutes when we got in, but we went in our lightning lane anyway. And while we're in the lightning lane, there's an announcement that comes on saying the ride is operating at a smaller capacity and this will be a longer wait. So we checked the app, like wondering what they were saying, and they said that the wait was 135 minutes long.
Jeez.
So and good thing we were in lightning lane, so it didn't affect us. But I did look over from the lightning lane, look over to the main standby, and feel bad for the people waiting in line who probably weren't. They're deep in this line now, like they're close to the front, but it's still going to be a lot longer for them than when they got in.
That's probably because they had issues with some of the screens, so they had to shut down some of the ride.
Yeah,
that would make sense. I ended up scoring 129,900 points.
I guess we're going to be in a close battle if we end up doing this.
If we end up doing it, we'll see.
Depending on the weights.
It's a fun ride, though.
Because I got 125,000.
It's just cool. Yep. Okay, ready to move on?
My friend is gone.
I think you were going to talk about Muppet Vision some.
Sadly, it's gone and it's going to be replaced by a Monsters Inc. suspended roller coaster. And it's not coming back because it's now going on Apple TV. Muppet Vision 3D is a show that was in Hollywood Studios for a long period of time. Jim Henson's final work before he passed away. It is a show about Kermit and the gang creating a 3D Waldo, the spirit of 3D, as he goes around, and they have Bean Bunny as well, and Bunny runs away from the show and they have to get him back, and they just have all the Muppet gags, and like the beginning of the show, the pre-show room has Sam Eagle trying to be serious with the things like, please wait until you get into the theater and and then with your glasses on. And then Gonzo comes in and trips and goes, what are you doing? I'm just showing what'll happen if you walk with your glasses on. So like all these different like Muppet things, and it's such a quotable show. There's so many quotes.
I know.
I know it. I know it really well. I use a lot of them in my life.
Yes,
like
you do.
minute and a half, all of the time. Um, we're bolted to the seats is one of the ones that the old guys say in the back when they said, why can't we leave? No, because we're bolted to the seats. Gonzo, they have there's so many crazy funny things with this show, and I'm very sad that it is not going to come back, because not only is the film good, and yes, I love the film. You're always going to be able to watch the film on YouTube from different things, but what they're doing with Apple TV, they're making it a 3D in your the virtual reality glasses, and built directly for the VR glasses. So you'll be able to like sit in your seat and see 360 around you, which is a cool idea and way to go with it. I will want to experience that at some point in my life, but I don't really have Apple Vision Pro glasses because they're very expensive. But Muppet Vision, just even in the theater was such a cool experience. You had the lighting on the side, the cannon at the end. Oh no, he's got a cannon! And there's so many quotable things from the show.
So that's Muppet Vision 3D. I don't feel like I need to say pretty much anything.
You didn't even do it.
Yep, I don't think
Sadly.
I did.
No.
I've watched videos of it, so I know what it is, but like, I don't really have anything else to add to Muppet Vision 3D. You ready to move on?
Yes.
You good?
Yeah.
We're not going to the next thing on this review list, Kevin.
We're not?
No, we're not.
Why?
Because it is in this moment that I am going to say there is a new show in town.
Well, there's actually two that we haven't talked about.
Well, yeah. There's also Indiana Jones, so...
No.
Okay. Well, we're going to start with Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After.
Little Mermaid as well.
Well, yeah, we're going to start with Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After.
Neither of us have you seen it? You haven't seen it in person, no.
No, I have not seen it in person, but I have seen like 2 videos of it, or maybe 3 or 4. A lot.
I like it. I don't love it. I think they're missing a lot of stage actors. Having there only be 3 actors on the screen. There are so many characters in this show, like on the screens in the background, but I kind of wish there was a little bit more of physical actors in this show. It's not just the 3 of them.
I think it would be cool. I think the 3 of them's okay, in my opinion. Like, they don't have a lot of spot for their minions, and the other people, the other villains, don't really have that much of a role. They're just in the mirror, and that's the entire point of the story. They're in the mirror.
On the wall.
It also has a really good theme song. But what I think would be cool is, what if you rotated through more villains? So always have 3, but what if it wasn't always Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, and Captain Hook? What if you gave Hades a turn? What if you gave Jafar a turn? I have a
feeling, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have a feeling that these are the main 3, the pilot 3 for the villain land.
I could see it.
And they're using this show as like, okay, this is their first introduction into like the business world of this, and like actually being like on a stage or whatever. And then the other ones are just are also getting mini roles as they get more deeper into the land.
Do you think they're keeping track of who gets the loudest cheer and like using that as data? Like,
I know they have a lot of data on Cruella de Vil. They have a lot of strong, this is from different Disney people, they have a lot of strong liking on DeVille and what they can do there. And of course, you know what Maleficent will give you.
Oh yeah,
but
Maleficent.
Maleficent will give so valuable, even in Fantasmic, that she's used in. But Cruella de Vil doesn't really have that park representative, like that much park representation, other than that. So I think it's interesting. I wonder what happens to this show once Villains Land opens, and I know that's way down the line at this point. I don't see a show in the latest permit that came out. I don't see a show venue in the Villains Land. So I don't know if this show just goes away incompletely. They leave it there while having a full Villains Land doesn't make that much sense. But we'll see.
It would be fine though. Like, it is what it is. Let's talk aerial show, because you clearly wanted to mention that. I'll be honest, I don't know a thing about it. So
I'll mention I have not watched it in a while. It kind of went away from my radar because it's a weird entrance now with the animation courtyard area closed, getting ready to be rethemed this summer to the Art of Disney Animation or whatever they're making it now, the Walt Disney Studios Adventure, whatever it's going to be called. The Little Mermaid show is the old show just with like some new ways of puppeteering is still good. It's still a very good show. I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember watching it and liking it when I first saw it in the video. I'm like, this is actually really good. They didn't kill off the integrity of the old show, and I like it.
okay. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular,
which neither of us did. Have you ever done it?
Yes, I have. I have seen it before, and I remember thinking it was really impressive and cool when I went in like 2018, which was now 8 years ago, but I still, like, it's one of the few things I actually do remember from that trip, or maybe even a trip before. Like,
and it is a long show.
It's a long show. It's a cool show. They have, it's real stunts. Like,
they just had the incident with the guy blocking the boulder.
Yep. So hope everything's going okay in that world. It's just a fun, cool show.
It's one of the things that I'm surprised that I think most Disney people are surprised is still around, with the amount of real estate and land that takes up, and the way that they like having, building these new lands and stuff. I think people were somewhat surprised that area that did not go away.
But in all fairness, it's a really good show.
I'm not saying it's not a good show. I'm saying that the land is a lot more than than recently that they like having taking up.
Yeah, but it's a really good show, so it absolutely deserves its spot.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so next up, I think we shall talk about the Nighttime Spectaculars. We're gonna go in a different order than we did for Epcot. And we are instead going to start with the Wonderful World of Animation.
Thing is awful. This thing is so bad. It is not. Now, okay. Let's preface a little bit. You go to Hollywood Studios, and you're there at night. You want to see a show. 90% of the time, you're going to go see Fantasmic.
Yeah.
If you want to see a show in Hollywood Studios. It is a very, very good show. It's, of course, well-liked.
We'll be talking about that in a moment.
We'll talk about it in a moment. But The Wonderful World of Animation is a projection show. It is solely a projection show. I don't know if they say anything about fireworks. They have slight pyro in there. You have a couple little things go off over the theater, and it's just not like, it's not good. It just doesn't hit. Now, I guess if you were going into it looking at it just being a projection show, and I think a lot of people in that park are not ready for the nighttime show to just be the projection show. It's not the greatest thing of all time. It's pretty replaceable. What they do for the Christmas time is way better. What they do for Christmas is really good. They actually shoot some fireworks up and do some stuff, which I wish they could do just a little bit. Just not just a Seoul as your icon area of the park just has a projection show on it. Just doesn't look right.
For me, it's not a really big deal.
It's not.
Mainly because I forgot it existed. Okay.
But shouldn't that be a problem if you forget it exists?
Yeah, I think that is something in itself. There is something to be said in that I didn't remember it existed the past few days when I'm actually trying to look at Hollywood Studios stuff, and I didn't even think about it. I didn't remember it existed right before this podcast.
No one stops to go and watch it. Like it's kind of like a watch in passing type show.
On the other hand, I don't know that that's a particularly bad thing.
No.
There are you can have projection shows. Disneyland has the Tapestry of Happiness projection show they put on Small World. They had the Magic, the Memories, and You show. That was also on Small World. There is a place for projection shows, too.
I think it's just an underwhelming thing to a lot of people in that middle. Also, the point being, again, you have a great show
Yeah,
to watch.
this is the secondary thing.
This is the secondary thing, and I would want in a heartbeat would say get rid of that and put something in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. Then you're farther away from Fantasmic. You're on the other side of the park.
And then you could do a Star Wars show.
Then you could do a Star Wars show, and you have this technology that you've used before of like flying drone type thing. You could do a lot back there for a Star Wars show, what Disneyland does. You could do something back there in Galaxy's Edge, which is ridiculous why that's not a thing in Florida. Doesn't make sense.
There's more options for shows in these parks that aren't Epcot, that are nighttime spectaculars, where it would just be cool. Like, let's add a Star Wars show. We don't even have to get rid of this one.
No.
If it comes down to a budget thing, though, get rid of this one and play the one in
and it
Galaxy's
also allows
Edge.
you, if you want to do some minor fireworks or something in the back, you're far. Yeah. If you were worried about closeness to the proximity to Fantasmic, if that's what you're worried about, you're way far away at that point. You're nowhere. You can't even see the Tower of Terror from Star Wars.
Okay, moving on to Fantasmic.
I am seeing my review here because I didn't go on I didn't see Fantasmic.
Yeah, so your review is 3 words that says did not do.
Did not do, yeah. So I'm completely lost on this document now. So I've seen a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, my review, though, I rated it a 30 out of 10 and wrote almost 300 words. So I
ranted about Muppet Vision. You can take this one.
Yeah, okay. So I love Fantasmic. It is such a good show, and you go into it, particularly in this case in Hollywood studios, where you think about it more of a theater production. And when you think about it like a theater production, it's like the best theater production ever. The tricks that they do, the effects are excellent. There's just so many cool things. The music is like good. It's not standout for its music like Epcot. So it has good music. They have good effects. Like Dragon, I have an issue with the boat that plays at the end because it's just small, and I would like an upgraded boat there. I'm petitioning, like, unofficially. I would really like to see the riverboat from Frontierland put in there. Like, I don't know how feasible that is, but I would love to see that. That would be a huge upgrade to Fantasmic.
They would have to take the thing apart to bring it there.
I honestly don't know.
Because it's not close. There's no water access there.
But it would be really cool if they could put it there. Fantasmic's like in a tier of its own as far as nighttime spectaculars that are like stage shows in the park. Like, it's amazing.
There's a difference, like that from Illuminations.
Yeah, it is a very different show.
They're both very, very good.
Yes, they're both very good shows. Fantasmic is even different. Like, if you want to think about a show that's currently in the park, Happily Ever After, they're completely different.
Well, also, if you think about it this way, Fantasmic in Hollywood studios is Fantasmic with a larger budget, and with them being able to put it and not force it into a Rivers of America.
Yeah. So in Disneyland, there's also a Fantasmic that is
falling apart.
Yeah, it's put into Rivers of America and Frontierland, and just is not holding up as well. And then it was brought over to the Florida, and it turned out really good. I feel like it's also something to note that there is also a Fantasmic that plays in Tokyo.
Everything's cool in Tokyo.
Which, that is also a cool version of Fantasmic, and it has its own song, actually. The theme song music is a little different for Fantasmic in Tokyo. But we're sticking here.
I knew that.
There's so many cool effects. They got the animals, they have the barges that go through. It's just a great show. And when I was there watching it, it was one of those things where I would look and go, how did they do that? Which, as much as I've done research into and looked into, and I see a lot of like how they did stuff, this was like a standout thing to me that there were so many "how did they do that" moments, and I
And
just
it's
thought
fun.
that was
It's
cool.
really fun to watch Phantasmic from the really like 4K videos where they zoom in on the.
Yeah. And I know, like, that set is littered with elevators and hidden doors, and it is a set built for Phantasmic, and it's absolutely insane. And I know that they have all this stuff, and I'm still like, how? Like, there is something to be said about that. Okay. You have anything?
No, nothing from what you gave a really good summary for that.
Yep. So, next thing to talk about is Walt Disney Presents. Okay.
And I think you probably have a lot. I'll start, but you have a lot more than I do with this one.
Yeah. So this is like a museum.
Yes, it's basically a museum showing the history of Disney himself, and it had normally used to end with the one man's dream show, but now they sometimes use it as just a preview center for different things. The models here are very cool. The history here, you could spend a lot of time in here, especially when it's hot outside and you need a break.
Yeah. So I really liked this. There were like, it's a museum, and I like museums. Like, they're not for everyone. Not everyone's going to want to see this when they go to Hollywood Studios. I wouldn't even be surprised if most people didn't, but it is really
It's something
just
that
a cool thing to see.
Also needs to be there.
Yeah, it absolutely does just need to be there. And I would implore you, just take a few minutes and visit it. Take a look around. You don't have to say, but like, look at some of the old models. They're cool.
Yeah, just take a look. It's a fun place. It's a fun place to walk around.
Okay, I think that is it as far as like the big things that we need to go through. So we'll go through the lands now. I
Okay.
think we got through all of the attractions and shows and stuff, right? I'm not missing any.
No, not that I can think of. I'm guessing you have the map open, going
Yeah.
around looking. I don't think you're missing anything show-wise. I'm just trying to go back in my head looking
There's
around.
Vacation Fun, an original animated short with Mickey and Minnie.
I had never seen that.
Neither have I.
I've never seen that.
It's there. It's a little.
Do we ever talk about
video.
restaurants on this?
No.
Okay.
Well, not really.
I just need to stop for a few seconds. Hollywood Studios has some of the best restaurants theme-wise. Like, it has some of, like, they're known for their theming. Like, Sci-Fi Dine-In is known for their theming. You have the 50s Primetime Cafe is known for the theming. You have the Brown Derby restaurant is a known restaurant. Those are three very good sit-down restaurants that was always kind of thing. Like, you have a half-day park, but you also have, it was a preface on good dining places. So you would be able to be there in the park, but then have these good dining places. And the Imagineers took a lot of time and thought to figure out those restaurants.
Yep. Okay, moving on to the different areas. So we're going to start with Sunset Boulevard, okay? This is like an old-style Hollywood street. It is the street that goes straight up to Tower of Terror in that part of the park.
Yes. Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard. It's Hollywood Boulevard, right? No, Sunset Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard. Hollywood Boulevard is the entrance.
Yes.
Right up to that main center area. And we can really kind of talk about both of them together because they're the same. Like, really.
Well, yeah, they're just, I think, based in two different time periods.
Yeah, but they're very, very similar.
I like the fruit stands and the way that they did, like, the coffee shops and the fruit stands down on Sunset Boulevard as they're on the way. And that has some of the best pictures as you turn that corner and you see that big reveal of the front of Tower of Terror. And it's your first good look at it as you come off of Hollywood Boulevard and you make that little turn. And it's not like a sharp right. You kind of have like a gradual right turn. And you stand and you can get some of these great shots of the Tower of Terror.
Yeah. So both of these streets are like, they're old style Hollywood streets. And I feel like they nail that. The music is like good. It fits. Nothing super standout, but nothing needs to be like super standout.
And all the quick service places, the shops are all very deep into this theme as well. Like, they're detailed, they have this like old 50s, 60s style, 40s, 50s, 60s style on them.
Yep, it all fits together quite well. The one thing that this just did make me think of is Disney's California Adventure. has a street that is very similar to this. They call it Hollywood Lane or Hollywood Land or
I think it's
something.
Hollywood Lane.
One of the two. But they do this crazy cool forced perspective thing there where they make it look like the street goes on so much longer than it does, particularly when you're at the end of the street closer to the entrance of the park. Like, so much that it fooled me big time for way too long.
Now, doesn't that only work if it's beautiful and sunny out?
Yeah, pretty much. But that's California.
It is California, so. Yeah,
but
that is a cool looking thing.
It's a really good effect and really simple. It's that forced perspective that don't underestimate it.
Yeah. It's just a good street. I like the fruit. Again, I like the fruit stand. I also like how it didn't make, when you get down to the end of the street, it makes sense that you're getting to the end of the street and getting to this big tower, or you're going to the roller coaster. It kind of makes sense that you kind of build up this thing, and then you have these big rides down at the end. You've got Tower of Terror, you got Rock and Roller Coaster, and you have Phantasmic off to the right.
Yeah. So let's talk about like this center area with Echo Lake and that whole. There doesn't really have a great name, but like that center area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about,
I do.
right?
I want to look at something. So Echo Lake has Gertie, of course. We love Gertie. And some things that kind of get missed is like 50s Primetime and Hollywood and Vine, or the restaurants. If you kind of go around, most people don't go around all the way, like towards Indiana Jones area. That's how Gertie gets missed. And you just kind of go straight down, and then you cut across near the Frozen show, and you don't go around the other side. But that's like a nice, calm, peaceful area there with not that much going on, but just a nice, peaceful, good, calming music. I like that spot.
Yeah, there isn't a ton to say about these lands. It's not like
Gertie gets a Christmas hat during the Christmas time.
Yeah, it's not like they're standout or they're not my favorite thing. Hollywood Studios is not like my favorite park, obviously. That's Epcot because I like all the feel and vibe of that. But I think we are going to move on to Toy Story Land. So Toy Story Land was one of the new additions that came in 2018 and obviously arrived right when I was leaving Disney. Opening day was the day we left in that year, which will bother me to this day, although it's a lot better now that I've actually been there. It's a pretty cool land. There's one funny story from a Where in Walt Disney World photo that I will get to later.
But I can tell that almost.
First, though, what else? Like, what do you think of this land? We talked about the kinetic energy with Slinky Dog.
I really like it. I think now it's a fun land, the way it's lined up. I like you're shrunk down to, this is the best one. There's a bunch of Toy Story lands around. This is definitely, in my opinion, the best one.
Okay.
Because they actually have Slinky Dog and a roller coaster. That's like, it's there. It brings that kinetic energy. And you have, in the other ones around the world, you have just the standard carnival flat rides. So I like the theming. I love the restroom sign with the blocks that says restroom, and all the little tiny theming things that make you really feel like you are the size of a toy. There's the fence line is made out of the Tinker Toys.
Yep.
The Tinker Toys was made out of. Every single thing in that land is bright, vibrant, and makes you feel like you're a toy.
Yep, bright, vibrant, and
big,
toyish.
And big. Everything is bright, vibrant, and bigger than normal.
Yeah.
So you can tell You
don't want to?
Well, I was there. Me and my sister rode the Alien Swirling Saucers ride. And we get off the ride, and we're kind of waiting around for Mom and Dad to come over. And I took a picture of this fence line of the Tinker Toys. And we do, of course, the Where in Walt Disney World challenges with photos. And I sent it to Caleb, and he sent it back the exact spot on where it was. Now, Caleb went in. I didn't think there was a way he was going to get it exactly. Caleb went onto Google Maps and scoured every single fence line in Toy Story Land to find the right angle.
Yes, I did. So what you have to understand is Kevin gave me some of the path and 2 colors that were obviously
You
the
still have
fence
the photo.
posts. I think I do, but 2 things. It was obviously a fence post in Toy Story Land. That wasn't the question. And like, I kind of figured if Kevin's sending this to me, there's no way he wants me to guess if it's a fence in Toy Story Land, because that's way too obvious.
No.
So therefore, I'm just going to go and find the exact spot.
How long did this take you?
Too long. It was okay though. I didn't spend like an obnoxious amount of time on it. It just kind of felt like it. I had 2 posts. I think it was a blue and an orange one, just at the base. So I just went around the park looking for places where the blue and the orange were right next to each other, and then I looked to see if the cracks on the ground matched up.
And this is how Caleb knows every inch of Toy Story Land.
And then it didn't match, and I just kept going because I started on one end of Toy Story Land and made my way through, and Kevin's was at the very end of Toy Story Land
In the other side.
Yeah, the other side of where I started. Anyway, so that's Toy Story Land.
I have a feeling we're going to do Galaxy's Edge next.
Yep,
So
it is Galaxy's Edge time.
The one thing that does not get talked about that much is the transition between Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land is very good. They do a very good job of actually making it a transition and not making it like, oh, we walk under a bridge and boom, we're in Star Wars and boom, we've changed to Toy Story Land, because Star Wars and Toy Story are 2 completely different things.
Yeah, so Galaxy's Edge is like Disney's land that is the best that Imagineering has to offer. It is like their all-immersive land.
Until Villains.
Until Villains, yeah. That's going to be what should be the next, like, step from Galaxy's Edge, that kind of tier.
Now, Galaxy's Edge had a lot of things cut from it, as we know at this point, as most of it ended up in the Galaxy's Edge. It's not the hotel. What was the Star Wars hotel's name?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my
I never
goodness.
really cared for that.
But a lot of the things that were originally for Galaxy's Edge went into the Star Wars hotel. And this hotel, of course, is not there anymore. I'm going to be annoyed. I got to figure out what the name of the thing is. But the hotel was this
Galactic Star Cruiser?
Galactic Star Cruiser, yeah, was a big time thing that they used all the ideas that they had that didn't make it into the land, like calling the bathrooms refreshers, because they were, I think management was more concerned of people not knowing what that was.
Which is fair.
Which is fair, yes. So like calling bathrooms refreshers, and there were different little things that didn't get changed. And again, I think the big thing that people struggle to get their arms around is this not being about the original trilogy, and you not seeing Darth Vader in this land, because
no Vader, Palpatine, Luke, Obi-Wan.
None of that is there. Now it's starting to change in Disneyland. They're starting to change the story around and put Darth Vader meet and greet in Kylo Ren's ship, which is strange, but they're just trying to get them in there, probably fixing mistakes that they've made before that they can't fully go back on. But in total, this thing is themed incredibly well. I really liked how you could stand in the land and you're looking back to when it might end, and it doesn't look like it ends. You're in that spot with the Millennium Falcon, and you see the first line of rocks, then the second level of rocks, then the third level of rocks. Like, it feels like it goes on and on.
Yeah. So Disney made this an entire independent story. So it wasn't, we're going to put you on Tatooine or anywhere else in Star Wars. This is a new place that you are going to make your Star Wars story. It is all immersive, okay? Like, this is like the best that they have to offer. This is crazy good.
I will say I didn't walk around it as much as I would have liked to.
Yeah, I did more walking around in Disneyland, and my goodness, it is impressive.
And it is the same. It's the same land in Disneyland as it is in Disney World.
About. So some of the periphery is slightly different. The way you get into the land in those transitions. And that is kind of distinctive. I really like the way they have it in Disneyland where you walk in from Frontierland and there's like this little forest area that's a really, really nice transition and a nice area. I love that.
I think Star Wars, I want to explore it a little more, like see
Yeah.
the theming of these buildings, and it's really good photo opportunities, like pictures of the buildings. But I
It
remember
can be a maze to get around.
it is a maze. I do remember that. I remember being like, okay, I want to go to Rise of Resistance, which if you don't enter from that where Muppets was, you don't enter right there. You have to figure your way to get from this Millennium Falcon ride to there. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and if
You can do it.
you can do it,
It's not super difficult.
It's not as straightforward as some other things
Yeah,
are.
it's not as straightforward as the rest of the Disney parks, and I think that's partially by design. And so when this was made, it changed the game for theme parks. This was the first all immersive land of its kind, okay? Like when this came out, this was a groundbreaking deal, and it still is like one of the best lands in the park.
This came out a year after Toy Story Land, right?
I honestly don't know.
I thought Galaxy's Edge. I'll look it up. You can keep going.
But it's just the greatest thing ever. I know, like, the reaction from Universal to make, I think, their Harry Potter land, I think it was, like, that was Universal's, like, almost response to it, per se, but this is just, I cannot say enough good things. It's so cool.
It opened on May 31st, 2019.
Okay, so yeah, something like a year-ish after. Moving on, let's briefly talk about...
Toy Story Land opened in June 30th, 2018.
Yeah. We will briefly talk about the Muppets, where that was and how it's turning into Monstropolis.
Yeah, so it wasn't really... Theme-wise, it slowly deteriorated.
Became less Muppets-like.
Muppet-like, yeah. Well, Mama Melrose was not a... Well, Mama Melrose there were two restaurants, Pizza Rizzo and Mama Melrose. Mama Melrose closed. Pizza Rizzo stayed open for a very long time, trying to just hold like capacity in that area before they closed it, and then they closed Muppet Vision about a month or so after that. I do like the Kermit statue. Ever after COVID, the gift shop that was there, the Studio 31, I think, gift shop that closed after COVID. It never came back. It was just a boarded up building in the middle, so it looked a little awkward. I think they have destroyed it. If they haven't done it yet, they are going to. I'm pretty sure it's gone already. And that's where they're gonna make like a courtyard feel for Monstropolis. And then behind that is where they're gonna put the restaurant for Monstropolis. So Monstropolis will have the restaurant with the one person that I can't think of. Then you'll have the suspended coaster behind this. The suspended coaster is an addition to the park. It's not like it's an addition in land. It's taking up space in a parking lot that used to be a parking lot. It is not like it's not going in the same plate as Muppet Vision 3D. Muppet Vision 3D will get a new monster show will be in there. I have a feeling we're going to get new details about that show, probably at the D23 this summer.
I would hope so.
Same thing with the second Cars attraction. Probably will get some updates.
Here's hoping. So I think that's all there really is to say about that. Getting rethemed right now into this new like Monsters Mini Land. So we will see what happens with that. Before we get into our final review of this park, one thing that I think is important to note is that Hollywood Studios is the highest thrill park on Disney property. Hollywood Studios is your like teen-based park with the high thrill roller coasters and like more of a theme park type vibe in the kind of attractions it holds. It's not your Magic Kingdom with all of the boat rides and such as much.
There isn't a boat ride.
No, there isn't.
Which is something that's like a Disney staple. You got your boat rides. There are no boat rides. I didn't even think about that for a while. I wonder if... Here's a question for you. If you were to put a boat ride in Hollywood Studios, where would it go? What would you theme it off of?
I wouldn't put a boat ride in Hollywood Studios.
You would not. If
No.
you had the option, you would not.
I don't think it fits there.
Okay.
If you're putting in a boat ride, I'd put it in like anywhere else.
They've got 3. Once the Monstropolis coaster opens, you're going to have 3 roller coasters, 2 main simulated screen-based attractions. You have a drop tower. Yeah, you can see how this gets thrilly.
Yeah, it is a high thrill park. So, here we go. Kevin, your final ranking for appearance.
6.
You said a 9.
Oh, I guess I see that now.
What did you rate it for nighttime shows?
1? No, 10.
You just went from a 1 to a 10.
Well, because I was debating if I put Phantasmic in there because I didn't see it.
So you made it a 5 out of 10, which you had a 2 out of 10, but then just gave it a +3 because Phantasmic's there, but you didn't see it, so you didn't really know how to rate it.
Yeah.
So, next up, the rides.
The rides. 9?
You rated the rides 9?
Yeah.
Music and feel?
8?
Yes, you did. And then your final rating was?
9.
Higher than every other rating that you have. So you have all of these other ratings. They're all lower than your final rating for the entire park. So nothing was a 10 out of 10. But the theme park's an 11 out of 10.
So, do you know what yours is? Did you look at yours already?
Yes. So I gave it a 7 out of 10 for appearance, 25 out of 10 for nighttime shows because Phantasmic, and I gave it a -5 because of the other show that we didn't see. I don't know why I did that. But
I don't know either, Caleb. That's not a big brain decision.
I gave it an 8 out of 10 on the rides, a 3 out of 10 on music and feel, and that's not because it's bad, but because I personally don't like it as much. Like, that it's just like my personal opinion. And then I gave Hollywood Studios a final 7 out of 10, and I felt like it was hindered a little bit by like the size of it mainly. I feel like it needs one more oomph to like put it over the top, and I'm hoping that Monsters Land will do that.
But I don't think it is. I think even with the Monsters Land, I think by building that, I think they are now one more mini land short of it.
Do you think that like
I know
Disney animation? Do you think
I
that
don't think that really hits the same way.
I don't either.
I still think this park is one mini. Now, I think they were one major land short of being, really, really good.
Like set.
I think they went into Monstropolis. It's not yes, it's going to be a cool land, but it's not that large of a space. I think they're one more mini land short of of it really being set.
Yeah, or maybe like an attraction or two being added somewhere, an attraction and a show. Like, give it the Monsters Land, give it a little bit more, and I feel like it's
I don't know what
set.
I would put there. I would have probably...
I don't know either.
Like, I don't know, like, what goes well with Toy Story Land, Star Wars Land, Monstropolis, the Muppets with Indiana Jones, Show, Tower of Terror, and Mickey's Runaway Railway.
Well, let's think on it a little bit, and maybe we will bring that up another time.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring it up another time. I would have probably originally just said Cars.
Yeah.
And instead of doing what you did in Announce for Rivers of America, you make a big time Cars Land there. But there's or WALL-E, one of the Pixar movies that aren't represented well, that need a spot, or Inside Out, which is coming to Epcot. I think so at some point.
Just to be clear, that's not an announcement. We don't know that Inside Out is coming to Epcot. Kevin just really thinks that Inside Out is going to come to Epcot.
We're wrapping this up, and I just want to mention this. Does not have to do with Hollywood Studios, but for people that listened to the entire Epcot podcast, this is a notable thing that happened in the last few days. Did you see the Figment video on YouTube?
I have not seen it. I saw that it was coming though.
So it's out. It came out a day early, and it is Figment has a new voice actor who did his voice, and in the thing references the old attraction a ton. There are so many references to the old attraction, and it's the first time Figment himself, the character, has been used in a YouTube video or a filming
Any kind of film.
any kind of film at all, which is something which is a big step for this character that everybody loves. And who knows where that could go next. And everyone loves, yes, fix your attraction. I'm going to keep saying it. Fix the attraction, but they have so many references. There was no references to the Dreamfinder in it, sadly. But there were a lot of references to just older Figment rides, which is good. They even referenced the bad one, the middle of the road one.
Yeah, the other Epcot thing that I saw recently, Disney put out a video that was advertising all of the food stuff coming in the Flower and Garden Festival.
Just make me.
And they did it in the land pavilion with the Living with the Land song interspersed throughout the whole thing, which was really cool to see. And I was looking at all the comments of the video, and all of the comments are, love this song, bring back this song. No one really cared about the food that they were actually advertising. Everyone was like, bring back the song. And I just feel like that's interesting now that Disney recently has done the Figment thing and also did that as their social media
it's interesting
video.
Maybe, who knows? We don't know. We don't have any sources at all. We're just two people sitting in a room and
desperately hoping
for them to fix Epcot. But it's not an Epcot podcast, but I thought that was worth mentioning.
Yeah. So any other last thoughts?
No, but Hollywood Studios has gone back and forth between being one of my favorite parks. As you saw, as in these reviews, I had it as one of my favorite parks, and I do really like it. But our next podcast to talk about Animal Kingdom will be very entertaining.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
I am very excited for the Animal Kingdom podcast. You're going to hear a lot of my voice in that podcast.
There's a lot to talk about with Animal Kingdom, which is where we will talk about next time.
Yes, we will lead into that next.
Okay.
I think that wraps it all up.
Yep. So this is Caleb.
This is Kevin.
And we are signing off as we go on and on and on and on.